Everybody wants to save money on their taxes, and today I'm going to be talking about how you can save money filing something called the Homestead Exemption tax in Texas. So like I mentioned before, the Homestead Exemption tax is something that you get as being a benefit of being a homeowner. And so with that, you can file this exemption on your property. You have to do it only one time, and it just keeps going on and on for you. But what it does is it allows you to have a tax break on your credit saying, this is my primary residence, this is where I reside, and I'm going to get a tax break of a certain percent and a certain amount. And so it's not the most amount of money, but it's still something to save on your taxes, because taxes, I know, are not going to be going down, they're just going to keep going up. And so this is a good way to help homeowners get into that property. So if you have purchased a property with me in the last year, or if you've never ever filed this homestead tax exemption, it'd be something that you'd want to go ahead and do. And so I did that this last year. I moved, sold my house and built a new house, and I moved into that, right? And so you can file the homestead exemption starting on January 1st. So we can do that now, and the deadline to do it is going to be on April 30th. And so you have January 1st to April 30th is kind of the window of time that you have to do it to file your homestead tax exemption. And so what you do, you can just Google Travis County Homestead Tax Exemption, and it will bring up, it's the first link that pops up. You can click on that. And so I've got a video here I'll put on the screen as well with you, just kind of showing how to get to the website and where it's at. When you get onto that website, it talks about all the different types of homestead exemptions that are out there. And so there's just a general residential homestead exemption. That's saying that your primary residence, you can file this, right? If you happen to be a disabled person, or if you were in the military, or you're over age 65, there's some additional homestead tax exemptions that you guys can add on to your property taxes to help reduce your tax liability. And so if that applies to you, be sure and file those as well. But I'm talking mostly about the general homestead tax exemption. So when you go onto that screen, on the right-hand side of the page, you'll see an address. This is if you're doing it in Travis County, right? And so on the right-hand side of the page, you'll see a location where you can type in, it says like file online, or it says mail in. And so if you click the online button, it's like a hyperlink. You can click that hyperlink, and it takes you to the website. And on there, it's going to ask you for some information. So a couple things you'll want to have ahead of you or in mind prior to save yourself some time. It takes about 20 minutes for me at least to fill it out, doing it my first time. And so on there, it's going to ask you for the street that you live on, right? So I live on Zinfandel Street, so I typed in Zinfandel Street. It's going to ask you your full name, so you type in your name, right? And it's going to, you click like search land records, and it's going to find your property. It's going to bring up some records. You and your wife, or you're maybe just you if you own property by yourself, is going to be on there, and you just select that property and move on. Then it's going to ask you information about the applicant. So you need to type in your name, your phone number, email address, things like this. And then it's going to ask for your driver's license number. So you want to have your handy dandy driver's license close and available, so you can put that in there. And so for me, I was filling mine out. My wife was dropping the kids off at school, so I had to text her and ask her to send me a photo. Because in that next step, it's going to say upload the documents to support your address. And so you upload the copy of your photo ID for you and your spouse. They both are going to be on there, and you hit submit, and it's going to say processing. It reviews it. A trick, if your photo that you take is like this, keep your phone like vertical, I guess. I took mine like the wide, I turned it horizontal, took a picture of it, and it denied it because, like, you know, when it uploaded, it was like this. And so they want to see the driver's license like this. That's how they can kind of, I guess, search the information and accept the driver's license. But that was just an issue I ran into, so I had to re-upload it. Not a big deal. And then they ask you some questions like, hey, is this your primary residence? Are you living here? What day did you move into the property? So you want to look back and see when you moved in, and also when day you purchased a home. There's two separate questions they're going to ask. And then it says like, hey, are you transferring this from a homestead exemption from another property? So there's just a few, probably, I don't know, 10, 15 questions that you fill out. Pretty basic if you know yourself to fill it out, but they're on there as part of the process. And so once you do that, you just hit submit. It uploads it, and it basically says, hey, your application has been accepted. We are reviewing it now. And so that's the steps. You can also go into the Travis County Courthouse in person. Not sure if you can do that with COVID this year or not. You may need an appointment. Maybe it's closed. I'm not sure how that all works. But feel free to go ahead and go in there and do that in person if that's something that you'd be interested in. in doing. Otherwise, mailing, it is an option. That form's going to be online as well. But the online form worked pretty well. I had no complaints about doing it that way. So it's probably going to be the easiest way to do it. Williamson County, same type of deal. January 1st to April 30th is the deadline. And that is a similar way you can go online, fill out the form, or you can print it off and send it in. So I'm going to include the links below to both those websites if you are interested in filing this. And so again, a way to save money on your taxes, and it's something that we all could do. You don't have to do it annually. If you've purchased a home, it's going to be on, once you get on your tax records and you don't sell the property, it just keeps going forward with you. So it's nothing you have to do every year. But one time when you first buy your house, it's important to do. So don't forget, and I hope this was helpful. Talk to you soon.